Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at another game for the Neo Geo arcade cabinet. And this game is a remake of the old classic Mr. Do, but this is given the Neo Geo treatment, and this is called Neo Mr. Do. And this was created by Visco in 1996 because Universal was defunct by this time, I believe. But it's, like I said, it's a remake of Mr. Do. It plays very, very similar. The graphics are better. The music is better. There's some cool perks to this, but I kind of like the original better. The Alphamonsters are back. The monsters that resemble letters of the word extra. But they don't give you an extra life like in the original Mr. Do. They take you to a bonus stage. And there are power-ups in this game you can collect from, usually from dropped apples or other projectiles that you can drop onto the enemies. Sometimes there's frowny faces. Sometimes there's other things you can drop. But there's also ways to end a level, like collecting all the food stuff in the level. In Mr. Do, they were always cherries, but in this one it changes in the later levels. And there's a total of 28 stages in this game. Here the game tells you through really bad English the basics of how to play Neo Mr. Do. Like I was saying, killing all the Alphamonsters to spell out the word extra takes you to a bonus stage. And you can push the apples or whatever dropping projectiles like in the original Mr. Do. There are some very humorous cutscenes at times that you can actually interact with by pressing the button, and Mr. Do will be trying to do some sort of juggling act or something, and you can make him screw up by pressing the button. It's kind of funny. We'll get started. There are a total of 28 rounds, and there is a definite ending. I squished one of the guys, and he left me a projectile. This is like a bowling ball. You can knock it through multiple enemies, just like that. You can end a level by collecting all the food stuff, by getting an extra life, and you get an extra life by collecting 100 coins. And to collect coins in this level, there will be bowling pins that you shoot your. Ooh, that was nice. That you shoot your ball against, and you can get 5 coins from each bowling pin, and then you can't get any more. But there will be other things that you hit your ball against to get the coins out of in the later levels. There's like a total of 4 or 5 levels apiece that have the same look. And I think in the last one of those, there will be a special enemy that will emerge from the center pen, and they will be especially difficult to deal with, and they will take a ton of hits from your power ball. Ooh, I killed multiple guys there. One of the power-ups is really weird. It can make you a giant Mr. Do. But there is also a female version of Mr. Do, I guess Mrs. Do. I don't think there's any specific advantage that Mrs. Do has over Mr. Do. But when you're big, you can take an extra hit. Now here is the bonus stage that I go to because I I killed all the letter monsters, the alpha monsters. And what you have to do is reach the goal at the bottom. And to get there, there will be apples blocking your way, and you need to drop the apples on other apples to get yourself a path so you can get to the goal. This first one is super easy. The setup for the apples is different on later bonus stages, and much tougher, and you get bonus for the time remaining. Yeah, just try to collect those coins, because when you get 100, you get an extra life, and you get a kind of cool cutscene of Mr. Do riding a motorcycle with his girlfriend, who's also a clown, on the back. Maybe she's the Mrs. Do that you get a change into if you get the right power-up. There is also a power-up right there that is like a split missile. But no matter which power-up you pick up, you still have to wait for a brief interval before you can fire another shot. And I'm Giant Mr. Do. And I have the bowling ball type shot. After a short interval of having emerged from the top, the letters will go back to the top. Now when you reach a certain point amount, there I killed all the enemies of the level so I could end the level. Once you reach a certain point amount, then one single alpha monster will emerge from the top. And note that the letters shuffle left and right. Or it might not be an alpha monster, but it will be a certain monster, period, that will emerge from there. So if you're right at that point value and you go to the top, be careful. Now here is a monster that is especially tough to deal with, and it's a Yeti. And he will take tons of hits to bring down. And some of the monsters have like projectile attacks, and they're super annoying. Yikes. Yeah, you get that extra hit when you get touched while you're a large Mr. or Mrs. Do. And it looks like you lose coins, and you do, but you don't lose coins off of your meter at the top. Now here is a cutscene of Mr. Do balancing on a ball. And again, if you press the button, you can make Mr. Do screw up. It's kind of funny. He'll fall off the ball. And we'll look at that here. Let's press the button. Let's go on to stage 5. But just like in Mr. Do, if you collect a group of food stuff together, and on this level it's peppermints, if you collect them all together, you'll get a bonus. And note that monsters will eventually have the ability to go through the maze walls, just like in the original Mr. Do. And now I'm going to get my extra life for having collected 100 coins. There's Mr. Do and Mrs. Do riding on a motorcycle, and one of the monsters in a car. You can't screw that screen up. You can't press the button and make anything bad happen. Not on that screen. Yeah, there will be various things that you can hit your Powerball against and make coins fly up. And there will be I think at least 2 of those in a maze. Usually there's 4. But once you get all the coins out of one, you can't get any more out. And there'll be giant boulders or something that can go through the walls, all the walls, on its way down. And there are speed-up skates that you can collect. Woohoo! And we're gonna go to another apple maze, the bonus stage. You can quit this anytime you want. If you feel that you can't beat it, you press A, and then you'll get the option to quit. And if you say yes, or if you run out of time, you will see a death scene of Mr. Do dying, but it won't count. I mean, it won't actually take off a life from your reserves, so don't worry about that. But you won't get any bonus points. These later levels get tough. You can't be killed by a falling apple in this stage, so don't worry about that. Starting to run out of time here. Can I make it? Ah, there we go. Just made it in time. Mr. Do does some spazzing out after he beats a level. He'll either like flail about or he'll spin in place and his head grows large. It's very weird. Kind of a hyperactive game. I enjoy this. This was suggested by YouTube user Charlie Cat, who runs the Neo... Ah, God damn it, I did it again! If you're near the top when your score reaches like in the 10,000s or something, then a monster will come out from where those letters are and can easily nail you. But yeah, Charlie Cat runs the Neo Geo thread on the Atari Age forums. Kind of fun talking about the awesome Neo Geo. I do like that that power ball that can go through the enemies like that. Eating all the food stuff items on a level is a good way to end it. And like I was saying, once on like the final part of the handful of levels with the same background or the same level layout, there will be an especially difficult monster that'll emerge from the middle of the screen, and there he is. This guy is a pain because he has some sort of projectile attack. And he takes a million shots to bring down. It's not worth trying to bring down the monster. I mean, even with a dropped apple or whatever descending thing, even using that on him, he'll return. Crap, he touched me, killed me. But yeah, if you're large Mr. or Mrs. Do, you can take an extra hit. But you'll be stunned with the projectile from this guy. And now Mr. Do is juggling. And you can screw Mr. Do up while he's juggling. And I'll do that in just a moment. You'll get a bonus, obviously, for all the coins that you've collected. Yeah, he drops it and the monster runs after him. There's cheesy canned laughter from the audience. And now on this level, the falling items that you can drop on the enemies are bombs. And here we have these playing cards that take multiple hits to bring down. And there is a clock that you can collect as a bonus item that will freeze time temporarily. It'll freeze the enemies anyway. And the items that you have to hit with your Powerball to get coins to come out of are gift boxes. We will look at the very least, snippets of the rest of the game, of each level. And now the projectile that I have is really lame. It's a decoy. It'll make the enemies follow it instead of you. But you can't, it's not an actual projectile that you can kill enemies with, which is really stupid. And there's also that missile that splits two ways. But my favorite is the bowling ball one by far. And there's the speed up skates. Let's bring the Alphamonsters out, but I'm gonna end the level by collecting all the foodstuff items. And yeah, there are a total of 28 stages in this game. Ginormous bombs. And yeah, after a while, the enemies will be able to walk through walls. They'll turn a different color. There's the Alphamonsters. I would have liked to have been able to drop that bomb on all those guys. Ah, crap. Did it again. I got towards the top and I got to a certain point value and an enemy emerged from those letters and killed me. Collect the foodstuffs in the level. I'd never seen this in arcades back in the day. I hadn't even heard of it until MAME came out. I was like, oh, I didn't know this came out for the Neo Geo. It's kind of cute. I enjoy it, but yeah, I'm partial to the original Mr. Do. Of all the Mr. Do games, I do like the original best. I kind of liked, crap, that was the new enemy for this set of stages, and he can launch himself at you from far away. I declined to continue, but we will see at least screenshots of the rest of the levels. I almost got halfway through the game. Put in my initials here. That's Neo Mr. Do. But we'll go ahead and, like I said, look at snippets at least of the rest of the levels, and we'll see the rest of the cutscenes too. And here is the next cutscene. You can't screw this one up by pressing the button. It just says, "Just a moment, please," and then you go to the next round. This is the layout of round 13. There's the layout of round 14, and there's beach balls and snowmen. Odd combination, and there's round 15 and round 16. And here is the big special enemy of this round. It's a block of wood. And here is the cutscene here. You don't really screw it up if you press the button. And here's a look at round 17. Only 11 stages left to go, and there's little like pharaohs or pharaoh statues or something that you can hit with your ball to make coins come out, and skulls that act as the apples or whatever. There's round 18, that layout. And round 19's layout. Round 20, big old giant skulls there. And then you have a scorpion that's the special enemy. Now let's scoot forward and see the next cutscene. Mr. Do's juggling. And you can make Mr. Do screw this up. And a ton of balls fall from the sky. This cutscene is like really long for some reason. So we're just going to kind of chop it up. And we'll go to the screwed up part. Just press the button and he's like, what? Ah! More cheesy canned laughter from the audience. And now here's the first of the next set of levels. Ginormous apples. Those crystals at the bottom, you hit them with your ball enough times and they'll break. You can get 5 coins out of them. And there's the round 22 layout. There were no things to hit for round 22. And there's the crystals again, and there again. And the special enemy to come out of this round is some princess or something. She doesn't seem to go after you, but something cool that she can do is turn apples into bonus items for you. Kind of cool. I mean, you can kill her though. But I've got the lame-o decoy attack. I put on invincibility by this time, just so I can get through the levels quicker. And here Mr. Do whips at a lion, and the lion's just not paying attention to him. And you can screw this up too, and the lion will roar at you. And we'll see that in just a moment. And Mr. Do just bows. There's round 25. And we have rockets that you can hit to make coins come out of, and when you hit them enough, they'll fly off. They can't hit enemies above them. Turn into Mrs. Do there. And there's a look at round 26. Giant octopuses. Round 27. And there's round 28 with no walls. And here is the giant monster, or the special monster is a dragon. And then we'll see the ending here in just a moment. But yeah, those special monsters take a ton of hits. Here's the ending sequence. And you can screw this up, and we'll see it screwed up. They mess up their playing, and it sounds terrible. And then you put in your initials. But that is Neo Mr. Do by Visco in 1996 for the Neo Geo arcade cabinet. Let's see that screwed up in just a moment here. Ag! That's kind of funny. Well, that was Neo Mr. Do by Visco in 1996. Was this Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Neo Mr. Do by Visco in 1996. And I will catch you later in the future with another video. Hope y'all have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye, folks.